Hey everybody, welcome back. So, this video I'm going to do some bare metal foil work on the Dodge 330 Superstock. I still forgot Polara, I think that's what somebody said it was. Not familiar with these year model Dodges, but anyway, that's it. That's the body, at least, out of this kit. The rest of this kit is here except for the body, because the Lindbergh kit didn't have the body was broken. But anyway, you already saw that. Got my bare metal foil. I already did the back glass. I had a little piece. Ordered this sheet off of Amazon, and they had it nicely folded when they sent it to me. So it was in an envelope like that. So the center portion is probably no good. But anyway, I already did the back glass. Went ahead and did that one with the leftover I had. So with this new sheet, I'm going to go ahead and start, and I'm going to do it the very wasteful way. I like to do this one's got all this has to be done, but not the bottom section. But anyway, I'll take a whole sheet the size of this, and that's Heather. She's in here. She said the phone will probably ring, so let her walk out here. Anyway, got to foil all this, and it's just easier for me than doing strips. I actually did do strips on the back glass. That's because I only had just a little bit. But on this, I will take a whole piece that will cover this area. And yeah, it's a lot of waste, but it's just easier for me. It's faster. I'm in the I would rather do it faster. I'm a little push for time on stuff. So if you have the time, you know, individual strips is nice. One thing that I have noticed though is with strips, you will have a line where the one piece lays over the other, and as long as you start at the bottom and work your way up, so do the bottom first and then do the sides and then do the top, then it seems like if there are, you know, it almost looks like there's separate pieces of chrome. That's good too, but doing it a whole piece, you get one single. You don't have any seams or anything like that, so I prefer to do that. It should be the only chrome the back, front, and side windows on this car, especially because it's I was looking at the boxes and stuff to see what else was chromed in, other than the bumpers and the grill and all, which they are actually, I de-chromed them. They're in here. A nice gray, usually gray plastic for them. Anyway, I got to get some chrome paint shot on those, but I wanted to do this bare metal foil. So let me get the camera on a tripod and we'll do a window or two. Alright, so I failed to mention that I did some wet sanding on this color. Had a little bit of orange peel, so I was going to clear it anyway. So you can go ahead and wet sand it. As long as you don't sand through your color, you can see how hazy that is, and you wouldn't think that just shooting clear over there would make it crystal clear again, but if you shoot clear over that, it will be just as if you put a fresh coat of paint on there. So don't know, I'm not super in depth with wet sanding. I know my friend Jason Hanscom over at the Blue Ox Model Shop, which is hosting the group build that I'm building this for, Street Machine group build. He is very in depth, as well as a ton of other people in his polishing, wet sanding, polishing, and all that stuff. Generally, I will hit the primer with about 2500, shoot my color, wet sand the color, and shoot clear over it. Especially on this one, because if I have bare metal foil, I want to clear over the foil, because it's going to keep it from coming off. I will make sure that under the bottom side, I shoot a heavy coat of the clear on the inside seams of the bare metal foil. It won't go anywhere when you do that. It's just encapsulated. Now, if you had to, you know, for some reason I had to strip the body, I don't know what you'd do. But with using 2K clear, it just seems to never fail. I think you could shoot it over an old used oil filter and it may not even fisheye. It may, but 2K clear, the automotive 2K clear that I use, it seems to be flawless. I don't know about the Tamiya clears and stuff like that, but with 2K clear that I use, it'll shoot over any surface that I know of. I mean, it just doesn't react with anything, and it's just a wonderful finish. And then you can do a wet sand on that if you didn't get the finish, and do a couple of coats of clear. I typically don't do any polishing on the finish coat. It's usually just what I spray out of the gun, unless it's got like a big piece of trash or something, which I try to avoid. Obviously we all do. Pretty good results in keeping them clean, and I've never had good success with polishing. So I've got the high grit sandpaper and all that stuff, and I've tried it before, but it just seems that I can't get the swirl marks or whatever out with the polish. And I've got all the polish. I've even got the polishing pads now. But anyway, that's just kind of my method. Again, I tend to try to work a little that's very ironic that I say work fast, because it takes me forever. But when I'm doing what I'm doing, I try to find the most efficient method for me in completion. Not like I understand that if you're not putting all that time in it, you may not get those, you know, Acme top 10 results, and I totally am aware of that. But for what I'm doing, that's what works for me. So this looks like about 7. I'll go to the widest point. It's about 7 millimeters. Is that millimeters? Yeah. No, that's centimeters. 7 centimeters. That'd be 70 millimeters. And the depth for the windshield is I go over. That's about 3 centimeters. So 7 by 3, even maybe a little more than that. So I'll go make a little mark at 3. I hope that this stuff sticks. You just never can tell. So here's, I don't know if you can see this. Oh, obviously you can't see anything I'm looking at, because I got this tripod in my way. Alright, so here's somewhere around 3 right there, and then I'll just eyeball it. Go 7 millimeters. I'll probably go a little farther than that, but brand new X-Acto blade. If you don't use a brand new X-Acto blade, you will it'll kind of tear the stuff rather than cut it. Alright, so there's that piece. Let's see if I can get it. Now I have two X-Acto knives. I have, ooh, that's really making the color or the brightness go down. I have an old X-Acto blade that I'll use to take the material off, because the new one is so sharp it'll cut through it. So I usually take an old one to get it off. I just washed my hands a while ago, so you're going to have to handle this stuff, so you don't want to get oily residue on your bare metal foil. And put this over here out of the way. I'll take this piece. Complete waste. I understand that. I do. I get it. No windshield wipers on this one. And I will kind of just get it in place here where it will stick, and then I will take my trusty pointed what is this thing? Q-tip. I wouldn't call these Q-tips, because I wouldn't want to stick this one down in my ear with that point, but that's what they are, I guess. I think these are for like fingernails or something like that. Work that thing in. Bare metal foil is pretty forgiving as far as making curves and things like that. Also, I'm going to stick this whole piece. So this piece that's on the roof here. What I found is if you don't get a lot stuck on there, you start pushing on the inside, it'll just peel. If you just tried to get where the chrome is, so I'll come on up here and stick it there. Could leave some glue residue, but some alcohol will take that off with a Q-tip. So I'm going to go ahead and lay that over, because this piece of chrome goes all the way over. I am no expert at this, by the way, if you ain't noticed already. English teachers everywhere probably just said ain't a word, which I think officially ain't is a word. I use it all the time, so obviously it's a word. Cut that right there so we can make that bend. Don't cut your paint. But yeah, ain't a word. I think it's in the dictionary now too. Well, I think it's been in the dictionary. I don't see how a word that's used so often couldn't be in the dictionary. Alright, so we're just going to work that in really, really good. We don't want it to go anywhere when we go to cutting and pushing. And down here, if you get a wrinkle in it, if you burnish the heck out of it, those wrinkles will tend to come out. Sometimes you'll get one that's just too definite, but if you're careful when you're putting that stuff down, you won't get too big of a wrinkle in it. And then a little bit once you get over the edge, just a little. You don't want to push hard because it will tear. But get it set down in there, and then we're going to take our knife and we're going to remove all that that's on the inside that doesn't need to be there. Forgot to silence my phone. Alright, so get all this worked in there real nice. I need a better setup for my camera because this darn tripod is one of those floor mounted deals and it is right in my way. But I wanted to do it this way. Alright, so make sure you see all your lines that you're going to be cutting. This one is a little different because this all is where'd my pointer go? This is all chrome. It's not like a lot of cars will have the body color that goes up the A pillar right there. This one doesn't. It's like chrome all the way across. So I got to kind of figure out where I'm gonna cut that at, and then figure out how I'm gonna cut it with the camera in front of me. All right, magnifiers. Magnifiers on. It's about to get blurry. If I don't, or it's already blurry. I can't even tell if the camera's focused or not. Maybe that's my problem. You just can't see the darn camera, Matthew. Alright, let me get a little bit more here. Now that I can see better. Get those wrinkles out. Sound kind of like a woman. Can't have no wrinkles. I think us guys and wrinkles, it's kind of like just, oh, it is what it is. I mean, I'm sure we don't want to just be full of wrinkles, but you know, those ladies, they're more about that appearance, right? I've been to model shows. We're not about appearance at all. Just ask my wife. All right, here we go. So I'm going to cut this center section out, but I'm going to leave myself a little bit. I don't want it to be right on the edge. Oh heck, let's try to do it this way. I'm going to leave myself, let's just say, 1/8 of an inch. You're going to fold that back, or I'll fold it back anyway. Let's take this dang magnifiers off for this. I can't see that. And I guess you could save this piece and use it for something else. That wouldn't be a bad idea. as long as you didn't handle it. Alright, so we're going to go all the way around here and not try to get into no paint. And there. So I'll take that piece and stick it right there on the box. I might can use some of that. Alright, corners. I'm going to take my knife because those corners can tear. Just going to take it right in the corner. Just make a little slit. If by chance when you're pressing it all in and you have a little bit of paint showing through there where you may have cut too deep or something, you just take a little bit of Molotov paint or something like that, and you can touch it up. It's not that obvious. I've done that a bunch. Alright, roll that edge and make sure you're rolling it instead of just pushing it, and you don't want a wrinkle to roll up into your where your chrome would be. The front and rear glasses are easy. It's those side and quarters windows that can be a real pain in the butt because they're so tedious and small to try and get to. Alright, so we're just going to push all that in, and even where you got, well, where I've got a lot hanging right there, extra, I'll just press it on over. That I'm going to come in there and paint all that afterwards anyway. I'll generally go in there with some craft paint, black craft paint, if the interior is black, and usually I tend to do all my headliners in all black, but I'll go in there and paint that over anyway after there's clear coat on it. The clear coat's going to hold it, and then your craft paint, that stuff's kind of thick anyway, so you can hide quite a bit. Get that all pressed in real good, so you don't want it to be like kinda flopping in the wind and then you hit it with clear, because it's just going to be, you know, forever flopping in the wind. You'll be able to see it, so you want it all down real nice. There we go. And then on the sides, I already got that. And then the fun part comes, cutting the trim out. This was easy. This was the easiest part of the bare metal foil. Now, knowing right where to cut, where you're not going to make some sort of mistake. And oops. Luckily on this one, because this drip rail is going to be chromed, I'm going to chrome it all one piece, so I'm going to cut right on the drip rail, and when I take this off, it's going to expose the drip rail, you know, with no paint on it. So I think that will be fine. I got a little bit of a wrinkle right here still. The better you press that stuff in there, you don't want to do that too much afterwards. If you didn't have it conform to the mold, you're going to pull, then it's going to pull, it could like change your cut line or something. So you want to make sure that's all done. You're going to go over it afterwards on the edge where you've cut anyway, but you don't want it to be close and then you do it. Alright, now let me get this thing a little bit higher so I can get in a little closer. And down and over. Let's see if I can't straddle this darn thing. And maybe I can just there we go. If I can do it right there. My hand's going to be in the way probably. Alright, magnifier's on. Alright, so some guys use just a razor blade. I have better luck with it on the handle. For me, it's whatever works for you. Alright, so we're going to start right here. You will cut right through your paint, right through it with this brand new blade. I mean right through it, and you'll have a mess. So just be as light as possible. I'm glad I got a second part going on there, because I already think I made a mistake. And dang if you can't see where you stopped cutting at either. It is so tedious. Alright, now I'm going to go across to the bottom, get this started, and then I'll change my hand position on this knife. Oh, I forgot. Hold on. I wonder I'm having a time. Where's my marker at? So you take a black marker. This is not original to me. I forget who told me to do this, but it makes a heck of a difference. All right, so take your black Sharpie and color, because that blade tends to blend in with your chrome. Man, that Sharpie right there is just about had it. So color your blade black. It's not going to make it not sharp. It's just going to make it contrast from that chrome that you're cutting, so you can see more about your blade. Helps me. All right, a little bit better. Okie dokie. Now, I can find where I left off a while ago. I think I already made that cut actually, yep. Just gonna let it lay in that groove. Keep it from walking. Kind of holding the knife and moving the body, which is kind of weird, but it started walking up on me. If you start to walk up, like I just walked up on the chrome a little bit, start from the other side, come in and try to correct that. Oh gosh, just as I said correct it. Well, heck. Oh my word. I can't see what I'm doing here. Alright, maybe that got it. If you make a little cut in it, that's okay. Usually you can kind of disguise that. Alright, up top here. See if I can't get this. Down there. And across. Then on the top, I've really got to look into that eye surgery or something. My eyes have gone so quickly since I'm almost 48, and I don't know, about three years or so, they've just gone downhill so bad. I attribute that to beginning to wear readers. I feel like once you do that, you weaken your eyes, then your eyes then don't have to work. They just depend on the glasses. And then when they do get a little weaker, you just get thicker glasses, and you know, it is what it is. Alright, I think I got that cut. I'm gonna slowly start to pull this loose, and if it starts to pull any of my chrome, I'm gonna stop and make sure it's cut better. And then when you get to that part where you may have made a bad cut like I did, just be super careful that it's actually pulling the part that you want it to pull, and not that part that you didn't want it to pull. Gotta cut this a little bit. This is some sticky one. Sometimes it just ain't got no stick to it. Maybe the whole folding the thing in two made a really nice difference on the stickiness. I don't know. Let's pull it off. I know some people just despise bare metal foil, but I'm not good at doing the painting. I have better results with the bare metal foil than without. Okay, got that. Looks decent. Okay, now we're gonna take our you see right here, you see there's a little, if it'll focus, There's a little piece right there. I'll take a toothpick. But first I need to, looks like I need to cut that off. Oh lordy, here we go. Darn shakes. Take a toothpick and just push it like that. Get that little piece out of there. Alright. Go around your seam where you just cut and start to work that down, because it will kind of have like a roll in it, right? And you want that nice and smooth. So just take your toothpick, your Q-tip, and with the direction so you don't pull it back, just really work that in. And then look at it when you're done and say, oh my word, that looks awful. That's what it's all about, man. Trying to make something awful look good. It's all about illusion. If you can make them look back there, they won't be looking up here. So there's the front windshield. That's pretty much, I would say acceptable. Not perfect by no means. And then, let me get back up under the tripod here. Alright, I'm going to do one side window and then probably be the video. So let me get, I'm going to measure, get a piece cut, be right back. Alright, I just found a different, I forgot I had this other tripod, but boy is it unstable. It's a little small one. I don't think this is going to work. Anyway, we'll give it a shot. Alright, so I hadn't cut the piece yet, but on my sheet here, that piece that is left is big enough. So I'll just need to get a measurement on the height. That darn phone, I forgot to silence it again. I'm just going to use the piece that's there, just cut it straight off. It's going to waste more, but it's already kind of split. Yeah, this one's going to be fun because it's just the posts, quarter, and the drip rail. Yeah, oh well, we'll see. Got a whole sheet here, so we can try. I can try. That's better, Matthew. Alright, here we go. Just a piece off of here. I don't know if you've had the experience, if you cut little strips, sometimes they'll curl up on you like a pig's tail, and you're done. You got to cut another one. Alright. And on this one, I got to remember to cut it on the drip rail again. Make sure I'm far enough back and forward. Yeah, so all this down here will be discarded, which the majority of this will be discarded because you're just doing the drip rail. And then it's got to go up. See, I'm pushing in a little bit, but I'm not trying to. No, you probably can't see it. No, Matthew, we can't actually see that. You got to push in because you've got to get it. This stuff will stretch a little bit, but it won't stretch a whole lot. So so you can see your window, your quarter window. Get that in there. Your post. Dang, there just ain't a good way. Here we go. And on my vent here, I'll cut it and kind of let it wrap around. Try to, at least, best I can. But you got to get it in there so you'll know where you can cut the inside out. If you can't see the impression, you won't be able to cut it right. And vent does have the bottom part chromed. I just can't. And then this section right behind. See how I can't tell if that's too darn bright or not. Sorry. You got to get it pressed in, all in there. Let it fit in there really good. And that's why I like to use one piece, because I can do all this at once instead of having to put little strips and stuff. I frustrate the heck out of myself trying to do that, and those little pigtails will be created. I almost got a little tear right here. I have to be super careful pushing on that. Oh yeah, it just tore through. That's alright though, I think it's far enough in. The lower portion's not going to be chromed down there, so that's okay. But I still need to see where my mark is, or my line is. Alright, get that cut out of there. Also, one last thing, semi-pro tip, because it sure ain't a pro tip. I cut the inside out first before I do the outside cutting, because if you cut that, you only got this little bit here holding, right? And if you push in or something and something grabs, it liable to pull that loose. So I always cut the centers out, the big parts out first. That way I will have more adhesion. Okay, I gotta, so it won't pull it all loose. How the heck am I going to do this? I got to cut around that post down there. Man, it looks messy when I'm doing this. It's almost embarrassing. I'm like, gosh, this looks awful, Matthew. You call this a tutorial? This is what not to do. And I'm sure somebody will comment and tell me what I'm doing wrong, but that's okay. Alright, so let me pull this out like this. Oh, that looks good right there, boy. Man, Matthew, you're doing a fine job. Alright, get in here and press this in real good so I can get it cut at the bottom of the post. And at the drip rail, and that darn phone will not stop. Also, when you pull off this piece, make sure you don't pull off the stuff that you've already put on there. I need a sharper tip on this thing. Alright. Let me cut the video so it won't memory card error. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get it around the post at the bottom here. Cut angle. Angle. And goodness. All right. I guess as long as it looks good when you're done. Don't really matter how you get there, right? Well, I guess it does, but you know what I mean. Oh, nice. Stick the blade right in the body. Alright, now I gotta cut it out the drip reel. Without butchering the paint. I gotta silence that phone. It's getting on my nerves. I don't know if it's getting on your nerves, but it's getting on my nerves. Let me move this up just a hair. Oh, this is a cheap. I gotta go back to the old one. I just tend to stick with the old stuff. As long as it works. And some of you are screaming, "Well, the camera don't work." Yeah, I know. Alright, so I'll start down here, up here, down here. I lost my sight there. I can't tell where I'm at. Alright, there. And now I need to come around the bottom of the drip reel. I need to. I've got to get it in here more. I can't see exactly. Let me grab a different Q-tip. Be right back. Okay. The tips on these are just about too soft. They just crumple. I've had these a long time. What I'm doing is on the, let's see, right here, trying to get it pressed in on this, and I can't get it in there to where I can see it. Good enough. Oh, there we go. I wouldn't want to use like a toothpick or anything for that because it could tear right through it. I think that's good enough for me to see. Not really. Alright. Heck, is this even? Yeah, there we go. Okay, I think that got that. Pull this off and try not to take off my already put down windshield chrome. Sorry if this is boring you guys. I just never do this kind of stuff. It's usually like, oh, there it is. There. And now I'll get that worked in a little bit better. can see a little gap right there. I might have to doctor that up with something. Alright. We'll cut that out now. These are the most dreadful parts of the bare metal foil for me, is these vent windows. That's where your Molotov paint comes in really, really handy. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I can't take my eyes off of it. Alright, got that cut out. Push, push. And then you get in those corners and it's almost impossible to get the darn thing in there. So that's where your little paint comes in. I can see, maybe you can. Anyway, right here is a little bit of paint showing. I'll fix that up with the paint. I see a nick over here too. Oh, I see a big piece hanging inside here. And then on the inside of the quarter window, just kind of try to wrap it around, get all this pressed up in there real good, give it something to hook on to. That way when you spray it, if you spray it, it'll be in there forever. Press those where you've cut. If you get a little bit of a wave or something, from what I've found, at least in my experience, if you press it really hard, it'll kind of form that right into that groove, so it'll be nice and straight. It's just, I need more practice, but that's just what everything about modeling is. It's just practice, doing it over and over and over, and finding a better way every single time, it seems like. So then you make a tutorial and change your mind on how you done something, and then that tutorial's no good anymore. Alright, so I will have to do a little bit of touching up with chrome paint. Anyway, that's the gist of it. I still got the other side to do, but other than a little bit of touch up, I can see a place back here, a little bit on the vent window, and I may even touch up that gap right there. I didn't mean for that to happen. Can't tell if it's focused or not, but if it ain't, it's going to be pretty normal. Anyway, yeah, that's it. And then I will, like I say, once I'm done with that, I will make sure there's no glue residue. And I don't see any. This came off pretty clean. Sometimes it will leave a little bit of residue. Oops, just get this darn phone out of here, or camera. If it leaves any residue, take your little bit of alcohol and put on your Q-tip, and it'll come off pretty easy. That's it. Then I will take and clear over the whole thing once I've made sure the body was nice and clean. Again, the beauty of the 2K clear, even with me handling this thing, I'll still clean it, but even with me handling it, any of the oils or anything on my hand, I haven't seen a bad reaction, if any. Not that that couldn't happen, but with my experiences, again, it's pretty fail safe. And I know everybody has asked me a bunch of times, which clear do I use? I mean, it's just a generic one I got off of Amazon. So it's a quart. This is Acme FC720. Then it's got QTFC720. That's the clear. and it comes with the hardener. Come on, that is a FH612. That's also the hardener that I use in my enamel paint. So that's it. So thank you guys for watching, and hope you stuck with it a little bit, and hopefully you saw something maybe that helped you. But more than likely you guys already know how to do this. I just wanted to kind of step by step this build. Next step will be putting the engine together, and it has no progress at all to it, except it's took off the supports. I haven't worked on this. I've been really busy, and there's the engine. Gonna get it all together. It's gonna look so cool with those two 4 barrels sticking out of the hood. Those what are they, Carter 9636 or 3696 or something like that. Carter carburetors. It's got 2 of those with it. I sell those carburetors also on the website, so all the carburetors that come with the engines also have them separate. And yeah, anyway, good deal. So thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you. As always, go to check out hobbynutmodels.com. This paint, which is Black Eye, Black Eye, what, 202050E, Black Eye gloss enamel. I think it's a modern Mopar color, so kind of fitting for a Mopar. Anyway, it's cool. Go get you some over at hobbynutmodels.com. And go browse Mark's other stuff there too, as well as my website, mcvproducts.net. I appreciate all the business that you guys have done with me, and I got big plans. But we're just working toward those goals. So anyway, thanks for watching. Do appreciate it. Thank you to my Patreon members. You guys are great. I really appreciate everybody. If you hadn't already, give this video a thumbs up. Thank you all for watching. You're the most important part of this channel. You guys that view these videos and leave a comment, I appreciate it. Yep, so you guys take care, and we'll see you soon. All right, bye.